The following podcast is a W2M Network original production. Visit W2Mnet.com for all of our other great podcasts, plus news, reviews, articles, and opinions from the worlds of wrestling, video games, football, and entertainment.
Hi everybody, welcome to the latest episode of the SCU show. I'm your host SCU, and guess what? It's the end of the year. Final episode of the year. I've done so many podcasts before, and this is the first one where I've reached the end of the year. Usually my podcasts don't reach the end of the year. I usually just stop, the podcast is over now. I'm done with it. I'm going to move on to something else now. But I definitely liked the fact that this podcast, of all podcasts, had gone until the end of the year. Like, we started this back in February. It's now December. It's been 10 months, and we're still going. We're going to next year. I've been saying this a little often. We got a lot of good stuff going. I have so much good stuff going, and the show is included in that. Next year, you're going to see my beautiful face. If you listen to this podcast regularly, you're going to see my face. You're going to see me talking to my guests live. Not live, but I'll be on video, be on YouTube, be everywhere. It's going to be awesome. I can't wait for it, because that's my thing. My big thing now is going into video, because that's what's going to get me big. That's what's going to bring me the fame that I'm looking for. At least very small, but hey, fame is fame, if you ask me. But I don't want to go too much into it. I just want you to know that that's what's going on. The SCU show will be streaming video. I'll be using a different type of microphone, not my earbuds, and I think it's just going to get a little bit better in 2018, and I can't wait. But let's start with the Cowboys. Let's start with the Dallas Cowboys. Their season's over. Oh, the Cowboys are terrible. It's time to fire Jason Garrett. The whole team is garbage. Holy crap. Can we calm down, please? My God. Everybody has a bad day. When it comes to the NFL, however, you have a bad year. It happens to everybody. You have a bad year. So what? Why are we bashing the Cowboys? Everyone bashes the Cowboys regardless. But now they have a reason to. A lot of people think they have a reason to bash the Cowboys, and they really don't. No reason at all to bash the Cowboys. This is still a very, very talented team. They just got bugs to fix. That's all it is. And I'm not talking to a Cowboys fan. I'm not trying to defend the Cowboys being a Cowboys fan. I'm being serious. I'm real. Dallas is not a bad team. You act like this is the Browns or the Giants. Giants are disappointment. Bucks are a disappointment. Cowboys are not a disappointment. I said before the season, if you listen to the show, you would have heard me say it, this is a 6-10 team. I said this team was nowhere close to competing for the NFC East. I was right there because Carson Wentz and the Eagles just took over the entire league, let alone the entire division. But they still finished. They're going to finish worst 8-8, best 9-7. That is a successful season. That is so successful. And everyone was, the Cowboys suck. You have to get rid of everybody. No. Jason Garrett's not going anywhere. He doesn't deserve to go anywhere. Fine, Jason Garrett hasn't won his playoff game. Neither has how many coaches since him? How long has it been since the Cowboys won a playoff game? It's been almost 10 years. Long time since we had a coach that won us a playoff game. Not Jason Garrett, not to blame. I don't want to hear that. Oh, Dak to blame. Oh, Dak sucks. Dak's not to blame. Dak's a very talented quarterback with the wide receivers that can't catch the ball sometimes. Not only that, but it's been proven that he needs a run game. And Ezekiel Elliott was out for 6 games, which means he hadn't had much of a run game. Well, he did have a run game, though. He just sort of did. Rod Smith did step up. Props to Rod Smith for stepping up, by the way. The Cowboys won 3 in a row to losing 3 in a row, so that was cool in Zeke's absence. But next year, it's a different story in Big D. Cowboys are winning the NFC East, and this is why. And I want to start with the division itself. The Giants are taking a step back. You already know. They're not going to finish, what are they now, 3-10? They're going to finish the best. 3-13. They're 2-13 right now. They have a game against the Redskins next week, so they'll win that game. They'll finish 3-13. They're not finishing 3-13 next year. But they're also not finishing with starting, I should say. They're not starting with Eli Manning either. They are most likely going to let Manning go. And unless they find a stud quarterback, unless Josh Rosen decides, I'm going to go to the draft, and he probably will not go to the draft in 2018. The Giants are stuck with Davis Webb next season. You think Davis Webb's going to win you any games? Well, he'll win you some games, but that'll be on the receivers, not on Webb. Webb's going to have a really, really bad season. He's definitely not NFL ready. So I said the thing about golf, but this is a different story. It's not going to work out. So the Giants better hope that Josh Rosen declares for the draft and says, okay, since now I know the Browns are not going for me, because they've already said they already knew he didn't want to go there. They better hope Josh Rosen goes to the draft and doesn't go back to school. If he goes back to school, that's it for the Giants. I mean, they'll have a quarterback for next year. They're not winning anything. Washington's letting Kirk Cousins go. The revelation report I heard was that he's going to go to Denver. That would be interesting, wouldn't it be? Be very interesting to see him go to Denver, because Colin Cowherd said this last Thursday, about 5 days ago from when I'm taping this podcast. 4 teams have a quarterback situation. 2 are changing him. I remember it was the Jets, the Broncos. He said Buffalo, but Tyrod Taylor is a good quarterback. They can go with him. And then you have Arizona. But Arizona's going to go make a Baker Field at I believe they're the top 15. They're going to go Baker Mayfield. Don't know who their coach is going to be right now because Bruce Arians is retiring. But Baker Mayfield's probably going to go Arizona. So there's that. Jets are okay with McCown. I feel like they can do one more year with him. They'll be fine. Not a playoff team, but a second, third place AFC East team. And then you have Kirk Cousins in Denver? What? That would be so big for the Broncos franchise that is run by a Super Bowl quarterback. They need that. They absolutely need that. But that's not the point. Point is, if Kirk Cousins indeed does not sign with the Redskins, they're going to let him go. He's going to walk. And then what? The Redskins are going down. They'll have Colt McCoy. Colt McCoy, he has shown he's a pretty good quarterback. But he can't win with no help. He has no help in Washington right now. You have Terrell Pryor, who's always injured. And Josh Doxson is a huge bust. And I hate to say it, because I really like Josh Doxson coming out of TCU. Huge bust. Really big bust. Like, that was such a disappointment to see him play the way he has. Of course, he was injured his first year, but he hasn't done anything since when he is healthy. So what's the difference? And then there's Philadelphia. They're taking a step back. You think they're going to go 13-3 again? No. There's no way. What are they? 13-2 right now. They could go 14-2 next week and win over Cowboys. That's not happening next year. They're not winning 14 games again. There's no way. Eagles take a step back. The Redskins and Giants both lose their quarterbacks. Dallas, on the other hand, they're just going to get better. I saw this on Twitter from a guy named Jonah Tolles. Genius idea, by the way. Love this idea. This is very smart. Draft Calvin Ridley, the wide receiver of Alabama. Genius idea. He's probably going to go second or third round. The Cowboys, that would be a steal for them. Plus, if they give her Des Bryant, they could sign Calvin Ridley to a max deal after his first season in Dallas. Because, let's face it, Des Bryant is overrated. He needs to go. He's a diva. The Cowboys don't need to deal with that anymore. They continue to deal with divas, but it's about time they got to start getting rid of them. I mean, they've already gotten rid of Greg Hardy. Next in the line, it's Des Bryant. And what other? And Calvin, if you're listening to the show, you know who I am. I'm a fan of smaller guys in the NFL because they produce more talent. They're more talented. Russell Wilson, Dak Prescott, small guys, talented, very talented. There's a few other guys I can't remember the names right now, but I do know there are other small guys in the NFL that are very talented. That's why I think Baker Mayfield, he's a little small. I think he'll do well in the NFL as well. But, that's still yet to be seen. Calvin Ridley would do great with Dallas. He's a very athletic receiver, very small, which means he can do more. You know what they say, the bigger the harder they fall. So I guess the smaller they are, the less harder they fall. You know what I mean. Point being, Cowboys are about to get Calvin Ridley out of Alabama. I'm hoping. Really would like to see that. That would be great. Get rid of Des Bryant. Zeke's back. Dak steps up again. He becomes the same quarterback he was. I mean, everyone's thinking Shannon Sharp even said that Dak Prescott's deteriorating, that his career is over. It's been decided. No, it hasn't. It has not. Dak Prescott had a bad year. It happens to all quarterbacks. All quarterbacks have a career worst year. This was Dak's career worst year. Next year, forget about it. He's coming back. He's going to step it up again. He's going to play like he did in his rookie season. And the Cowboys will be back on top of the NFC East. There's no way that they. I mean, they don't let it happen. They won't let it happen. They're not going to let any team in the NFC East slow them down. They're going to win the NFC East. And then you look at that. You look at they're going to win the NFC East. They're going to make the playoffs. But how far can they go in the playoffs? And that's the next question. And I'm looking at their opponents right now. I mean, of course, outside of the NFC, you have the Saints. They're going to take a step back. Alvin Kamara, great running back. Not going to do as well next year. Drew Brees is going to have a good year. The defense is not as good, though. The Saints take a step back next year. Oh, Jacksonville. Cowboys play Jacksonville next year. Oh, boy, the Jaguars are such a great team. Okay, I was wrong. I slipped on them this year because I said I didn't think that defense was that good because they had proven year after year. They spend so much money on defense and do nothing. Continue to do nothing. This year, they're doing something. Next year, that defense takes a step back. Excuse me. Blake Bortles, he shows you what he really is, an overrated quarterback, a big bust out of USCF. So the Jaguars are going down, big time. The Colts are the Colts. They're irrelevant. It's a bad team. Even with Andrew Luck, bad team. See why hell's going to test free agency. Frank Gore's probably going to retire. It's going to get worse. They're going to fire Chuck Blanton mid-season. It's going to be really bad for the Colts. Tampa's another disappointment. Another team that Dallas faces next year. Tampa's a big disappointment. James Winston's really overrated. He's not as overrated as some former number one overall picks, but he's an overrated number one overall pick. The guy can't hold on to the ball, and when he makes bad decisions, throwing the ball. And the defense, they have no defense. And I'm not sure about Sean Jackson. He might be somewhere else next season. But don't get me wrong, the Cowboys do have some challenges on their schedule. They had to go to Houston and Atlanta, both on the road. Both tough teams. They get Houston gets Deshaun Watson back. That's going to be tough. They got DeAndre Hopkins, Javen Clowney, J.J. Watt will be back. And Atlanta, they have a good team. That's a good team. We can't knock on Atlanta. But they also face Detroit, Seattle, two other very good teams. Matthew Stafford, $135 million man. Had Case Keenum not shined, he went on the NFC North this year because with the Rodgers injury. And Seattle, do you think that they're dead? They're done too? No, that's still a good team. So in the worst case scenario, this team will just 2 division games, including those 4 games at Houston, at Atlanta, home against Detroit, Seattle. They go 10-6. That's worst case scenario. Best case scenario, they sweep the division, 12-4, and they get a 1 or 2 seed. And if they don't have to face Green Bay in the playoffs again like they did last season, they're well on their way to the NFC title game. I don't know who they'll play. I can't say they'll win. But this Cowboys team could advance to the NFC title game next year. They could see themselves winning their 3rd playoff game in the last 20 years. It's not good that we won 2 playoff games in the last 20 years. But a win's a win. That's what everybody says, right? A win's a win. A win's a win would be the same situation. Yeah, a win would be a win. A win would be a win. Would be a win. No matter how you get it, no matter how many wins it's been, whatever the case may be. So there's that. The Cowboys are winning the NFC East, and I feel like they can definitely make a deep playoff run. So now I want to flip over now. College football. This is the final show of the 2018. Final show. Pardon me. It's final show 2017. That's final show 2018. If I had a final show 2018, I'll be hitting big numbers. Believe that. I want to start with the college football playoff now. I want to switch over to that. Everybody knows. You look at the 2 bowl games. You get Georgia, Oklahoma in the Rose Bowl, and you have Clemson, Alabama in the Sugar Bowl. You can't sit there and tell me the Sugar Bowl is going to be a better game. The committee should definitely have considered, once these matches were set, I don't know if they were set, and then they said, okay, we're going to play this game, or they had set the time set before. They probably should have switched these games. Kind of like the NFL did this week, where they got no Sunday night games, and all the big games are going to be at 4:25. The committee should have done that. They should have switched the Rose Bowl to 8:45, and the Sugar Bowl to 5 p.m. on New Year's Day. But had a different story for a different time. I'm going to go ahead. We're just going to preview both games. We're going to start with the Rose Bowl because it's more exciting. So Oklahoma's been the best team all year. There's no argument. No team has been as good as the Oklahoma Sooners this year. There is no argument. Baker Mayfield, no argument. Best player in college football all season long. Which is why he won the Heisman. Running away. However, as good as Baker Mayfield is, he's not responsible for stopping the run game. I looked this up yesterday. Credit to NCAA.com. Oklahoma is 42nd in the nation against the run. You know who they're playing this week? Next week, next Monday. You know who they're facing? Nick Chubb. And there's another guy, I forget his name, but he did really well in the SEC title game against Auburn. Georgia is 10th in the nation in rushing. And going up against the 42nd ranked Oklahoma rushing defense. Ugh, you want to talk about a mismatch? That's really bad. That 42nd ranked run defense, worse than teams like Middle Tennessee State, Georgia State, Texas State, Arkansas State. That's even worse than Florida State. That's saying something. The fact that this team was such a disappointment, and Oklahoma still finished worse than them against the run. Yikes. That's bad. Nick Chubb is the key to victory for Georgia. They want to win. He rushes for over 200 yards. If Oklahoma's defense can't stop him, there's no way they're winning. And at that point, it would definitely be up to Mayfield to win Oklahoma the game, because Chubb will be running over the Oklahoma defense. So Mayfield will he'll be responsible for keeping it up on offense, so they can, because clearly if you score more points than the opposing team, you win the game. So they absolutely have to stop Nick Chubb or make Mayfield about to throw for 600 yards. Or what he did against Oklahoma State at Bedlam. And either way, I do give Oklahoma the edge because Oklahoma's a stronger team. Nice guys always finish last. Oklahoma's the better team here. Georgia has been vulnerable against lesser teams. Like Auburn. They lost to Auburn. They got blown out by Auburn the first time. Plus they've had their share of struggles here and there. Oklahoma, even within that loss against Iowa State, dominant. They're absolutely such a strong team against Iowa State, even though they lost. Baker Mayfield still scored 4 total touchdowns by himself, 2 passing, 2 rushing. Even in a loss against Oklahoma State, put on an MVP performance, 5 touchdown passes over 500 yards. Mayfield has been the key for Oklahoma all season. He's going to be key once again for Oklahoma against Georgia. Oklahoma wins the game, and I'll give you final score too, 31-28. And I'll give you here's another one. Here's another one I like. A late turnover on downs by Georgia will end it. Like they'll still turn the ball over with a little over a minute left. Oklahoma takes knees. They walk away with a chip to the national title game, and that's how I feel like it's going to end. Rose Bowl game, 5 p.m. Eastern Time, 2 p.m. Pacific, at the Rose Bowl in Pasadena. Game I believe will be on ESPN. That's gonna be a great game. I cannot wait to sit down and watch that with something else. But anyway, Sugar Bowl, like I said, not gonna be exciting. Not only is it not gonna be more exciting than the Rose Bowl, it's definitely not gonna be exciting as the last 2 national championship games. And why am I bringing that up? Well, you see, Clemson and Alabama have played in the last 2 national championship games. You know that unless you're living under a rock. First time around, Alabama won a very exciting, very high-scoring game. Second time, Clemson won by scoring a touchdown with 1 second remaining. Overcame a 10-point deficit. A couple times, I believe. A couple times Alabama had a 10-point lead. And Clemson, they ultimately won the national title game, upsetting the Tide. This year, forget about it. It's not going to be that close. No way. And I said this multiple times, and I'm saying it again because it's always true. It's been proven so many times. Defense wins championships. Clemson has a really good defense, but Alabama's is notch above them. Like, they're so much better than Clemson's. Like, Alabama is second in total defense. That includes fumbles, tackles for loss, sacks, and all that good stuff. Clemson's not far behind, but they're sixth. Not far behind. So the defense is close. Alabama has the edge, very slight edge. So what am I looking at? What I'm looking at here now for this game is offense. Like I said before at the Rose Bowl game, you score more points than the opposing team, you win the game. So look at both offenses here. Jalen Hurts. I like Jalen Hurts. I don't care what anybody thinks. Everybody thinks he's overrated. I mean, yeah, he does make a couple bad throws. But he can also make pinpoint, accurate throws. Very good throws. And not only can he make very good throws, if he doesn't have anybody open and he finds a hole in the offensive line, you forget about it. Nobody's stopping him. He's running right up the middle. He can gain up to a 20, 30-yard run. Very dangerous with his legs, as much as he is with his arms. You compare him to Kelly Bryant. Kelly Bryant's got to be the most overrated quarterback in all of college football right now. Maybe second behind Josh Allen, because Josh Allen has not done much to impress me this year. Kelly Bryant has thrown just 13 touchdowns. They played 13 games. And he's thrown just 6 picks. So he's thrown almost at least half interceptions. I think he has touchdowns. Oh, but have you seen his running stats? They're so good. He's such a good running quarterback. Oh, you were talking about that. Why didn't you give credit to Bryant? Defense wins championships. I'm not knocking him for his running for his total stats, just his passing stats. He's impressive in the run game. He's rushed for 13 touchdowns. Great. Alabama's also third against the run. They're third against the run. And Clemson is 31st in rushing offense. You think that they, again, right here, a big mismatch. It's not as big as the other one, where Oklahoma's 42nd against the run, and Georgia's 10th in running offense. But Alabama's third against the run. Clemson is 31st in rushing. Their leading rusher is Bryant. That's a big mismatch. Bold prediction here. Bryant does not rush for more than 50 yards. No way. I don't see it happening. Alabama's going to dominate the Sugar Bowl. I mean, the Sugar Bowl's it's not fun to watch anymore, no matter who plays. Alabama wins 31-10. We have a match set between Oklahoma and Alabama in the national title game in Atlanta, January 8th. Of course, I can preview this one because this is the final show before the title game, and I won't be able to preview that title game before the game starts. I won't do a show until probably a couple weeks after that because I'm doing something else that requires just about all my time. But anyway, so the national title game will be Oklahoma against Alabama. It's gonna be that's gonna be an exciting game, right? Yeah, kind of. I feel like you got Baker Mayfield going up against Alabama's defense. Big matchup. Who's gonna beat who? I said it already. I'm gonna say it again. Defense wins championships. Mayfield's good. I like Mayfield. Big fan of Mayfield. Really hopes he does well in the NFL. Hope he doesn't do it Paul Johnny Manziel. I don't think he will, but some people just don't know what some people will do. So, but just because Mayfield's good doesn't mean he's going to lead him to a title. Not only is he going to have to do like I said, if the Oklahoma defense can't stop Georgia, he'll have to have a career game. I'm saying it here again. Against Alabama, he's going to have another really good game. Possibly a career game. I mean, he can have that game. It's no problem. Because he's Baker Mayfield. He very impressive quarterback. He can do whatever he wants, running and throwing the ball. But then you look at Oklahoma's defense. They're 42nd against the run. Alabama has a pretty good running back, Bo Scarborough. Really, if you have to watch Alabama football to see how this guy runs. He's very good. Really good running back. They're going to have to face off, not just against Scarborough, though. They have to face off against Jalen Hurts and Calvin Ridley as well. Like the total defense for Oklahoma is 57th in the nation. That's almost halfway through the entire nation. Not good. That's, again, another mismatch that just shows me that Alabama's going to win this game. Alabama will win the national title game over Oklahoma. They'll pull away the fourth quarter. They're going to win 42-25. It's a bit of a stretch, I know. 17-point win, that's too much. But Alabama is Alabama. That's what they do. They pull away in the fourth quarter. They pull away late. So there's your preview for the 2 bowl games, 2 semifinal games, and then my prediction for the national title. So I got a little bit of time left. I want to talk about the rest of 2018. We're gonna go right through this. I'm just gonna really fast right through this. New England will be in the Super Bowl again. I said this last week, I believe. 2 weeks ago, might have been. But the question is, who are they going to play? As of right now, I will say they will play the Eagles in the Super Bowl. I don't know who they'll play. Well, we'll have to see. They already clinched their home field. They got the number 1 seed. Vikings will have to go to Lincoln Financial Field and play them. The Vikings play in a dome stadium. They're not used to the cold anymore because they got the heating in their dome, in their arena, their stadium. They're not going to be used to it. So I have the Eagles and the Patriots as a rematch of Super Bowl 39. They're going to play in Super Bowl 52. But I won't give my shot. I won't tell you who's going to win yet. I'm not going to tell you who wins till the final show before the Super Bowl. So you have to stay tuned for that. NBA free. I've talked NBA in such a while because nothing exciting's happening. I already know the Cavs and the Warriors are going to play in the finals, and the Warriors are going to win 4 games to none. So what is there to really talk about? NBA free agency. Let's talk about that. A lot can happen in NBA free agency. It's going to be very exciting. You thought the year that Kevin Durant with the Golden State was big? Because that was obviously very big. This is bigger than that. Way bigger than that. Way bigger than that. Because the main story going in will be, where will LeBron James play? And everybody likes to talk about LeBron. I really don't like the whole everybody talk about LeBron. Like, everything I see now, it's all about LeBron. But it'd be interesting to see where he goes. He's not the only free agent, though. Paul George, Karl Anthony Towns, Joel Embiid. You have so many guys that you say their name, you're like, oh, who's that? Oh, I know that guy. Everybody knows these guys. Free agents. Now there's rumors that LeBron wants to play with Paul George. He will pursue Paul George. Will it be in Cleveland? Will it be in Los Angeles? Who knows? I'm still hoping that LeBronzo, as it's called now, LeBronzo happens in Los Angeles. Paul George goes over there. Lakers start a super team, and we have Lakers Warriors in the NBA Western Conference Finals. I almost said NBA Finals, but I had to stop myself. Western Conference Finals next year, 2019. That's going to be exciting. Then you got the question, Joel Embiid. Trust the process. Do you really think he's going to stay in Philadelphia with the team being so crappy? If you don't like something and things are just not going well where you are, you go somewhere else. I have a big feeling Joel Embiid is going to go to a contender next year, or who you feel could be a contender. Probably not Golden State. Could be Miami. Miami's that. I mean, they're hanging in there right now. They were one of my playoff favorites. Well, the Timberwolves, they started a super team. They're still a really bad team. Will Karl Anthony Towns want to stay there? Probably not. I really don't think so. I really think that these players will want to go to contenders. Whether it be out west or stay on the east, we'll see. But I can't wait for NBA free agency. It's going to be really exciting. July 1st, 2018. Let's go. And then the final thing here, I got the NFL draft. If Rosen and Darnold, neither one wants to play for the Browns. The Browns are looking at Baker Mayfield. I don't know if they probably he won't want to play for them either. If Rosen and Darnold, they make this draft, these are the top two players in the draft. And you could say whatever you want about Baker Mayfield being so talented, and Lamar Jackson being so talented. All NFL teams have their eyes on two guys: Josh Rosen and Sam Darnold. Both of them are considering going back to school for one final year. If they go back to school next year, who's going to want to watch the draft anymore? You're going to have a couple guys. You're going to have Baker Mayfield, Lamar Jackson, Calvin Ridley. It's the top three guys going in then. After that, it's going to be like, oh, who's this guy? Never heard of him. It's going to be a bunch of tackle, all offensive linemen, offensive tackles. I'll pay attention to defense. I don't know who's good on defense. Derwin James, I heard, is another name that I've been hearing that sticks out. Guy out of Florida State. Outside of that, though, I mean, there's no guy that shoots out on the big screen. Whoa, look at it, they're going to draft this guy. No. If Rosen and Darnold go back to school, you don't get that. Especially in the first round when everybody watches. Everybody watches the first round. Who's my team going to pick first? Who will be my team's first selection? That's what everybody looks for. And if Darnold and Rosen go back to school, the three guys are going to be gone, and then you're going to be like, oh, that's it. The top three guys are gone, and I don't care about anybody else on that team, so I don't care. I'm done watching the draft. So, Browns, don't mess this up for everybody else. Your franchise is already snake bitten to high hell. Don't ruin it for anybody else. Go another defensive tackle. You just drafted a quarterback. Let him grow. Don't go for another one. Don't give up on Sean Kaiser so easily. Don't do it. Just don't ruin it for the rest of us. I actually do one more thing, and it's very short. So this is going to be it for me for the rest of the year, for the final episode of 2017. I was looking at the college football schedule for next year, and these games are really boring. I mean, Bleacher Report had an article of top 10 games next year. They had like A&M or TCU against Oklahoma or something like that. Texas, USC again. It's going to be boring, especially if Darnold goes to the NFL. The next guy up is going to be a freshman. Lame. Not interesting. Won't be exciting. Of those games, yeah, I mean, the only exciting one I saw was Louisville, Alabama. But if Lamar Jackson goes to school, forget that, you should cross it off the list too. As of right now, at the end of 2017, college football is going to be really boring in 2018. There's no stars. Of course, we got the spring games coming in 4 months. We're going to see all new players and how they do, and then we're going to speculate off of that for the next 5 months. Oh, this guy's good. He did spring training. Okay, let's see how he does in the real deal. When it really starts to matter in September. Starting then, everything's going to be, this is whack. It might change into October. Who knows? But you just can't name a champion right now, definitely. You can say Bama because Nick Saban. You can say Bama because their defense. But no matter who wins the title, the college football playoffs is going to be really boring. I tell you that right now. Like, it's going to be such a snore fest. I'm not going to be able to want to watch it. And if they were to start right now, a year from now, if we were to start, I wouldn't watch another game. Because it'd be so interesting. There would be nothing to watch, nothing exciting. But, this is just for now. We'll see what happens come April. Look at the spring games, speculate off of that, blah, 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 blah. And that's it. That is it for 2017. This is the SCU show. I'm your host, SCU. I want to thank you all for listening to the last this is the 25th episode. I want to thank you all for listening to all episodes of the SCU show. I hope you continue to learn today, 2018. I cannot wait to start video. I'm so excited. I've been planning this for months now. And it all kicks off, I'm hoping, sometime in February. Probably not. But when it happens, you'll know, and I hope you'll be ready. Thank you all once again for listening to the SCU show.
The following podcast is a W2M Network original production. Visit W2Mnet.com for all of our other great podcasts, plus news, reviews, articles, and opinions from the worlds of wrestling, video games, football, and entertainment.